organized by the Heritage Committee of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry in association with Intact. The initiative has been kindly supported by various corporates and educational institutes from Kolkata, like Woodlands Multispeciality Hospital Limited, Tata Steel Downstream Products Limited, Caring Minds, Delhi Public School Ruby Park, Kolkata, RT Network Solutions Private Limited, Sister Nivedita University, Hello Heritage, and Hermes Voyages Private Limited. We would also like to thank our knowledge partner, Credit Solutions, and digital media partner, the Telegraph EduGraph, for partnering us in this initiative. For the ease of smooth flow of the program, we would like to request our audience to join through Facebook, YouTube, and webcast, and all our participants, quizmaster, committee members, and special guests have joined through Zoom link. Today, we celebrate World Heritage Day. The purpose of organizing this quiz is to understand and gain knowledge about heritage of not only our country, but heritage of the world we live in. This program would promote the interest and desire among students to learn and appreciate history, tourism, and share the vast cultural heritage of our country and the world. In this edition, the target participants are high school students from classes 8 to 12, participating across India and also Middle East, because we want to catch the young minds. We believe that we must teach the value of heritage to all students. Heritage is something that all human beings share wherever we come from. There is a cultural heritage, there is an economical heritage. So it's a very important part in any country's development. So by inculcating this awareness of heritage, the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry have come up with the second edition of its annual Heritage Quiz on the occasion of the World Heritage Day. The quiz contest would be conducted by eminent quizmaster Mr. Orindam Bhattacharya, who is the founder and partner of Credit Solution. He is a Delhi-based quizmaster. We are very much thankful to him and his entire team for taking up so much pain and delivering such a beautiful program before us. We would also like to thank Intact for their constant support in spreading heritage awareness and working on conservation in India. Without further ado, I would like to request Mr. G.M. Kapoor, the chairperson of the Heritage Committee of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the state convener and chairperson of Intact, to formally deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir. Sir, you are on a mute mode.
Sorry. Thank you very much, Sukanya. This is always a delight to speak to my young friends, especially today being World Heritage Day, which is also known as the International Day for Monuments and Sites. As Sukanya has mentioned, the day was designated by the United Nations General Assembly basically to create awareness amongst nations of their rich and diverse cultural heritage. So in India, we are also blessed with a very, very rich heritage across all, in all directions. So it is, I think, in the fitness of things that we had such a large participation. And I am delighted to see that, I mean, this year we had, if I'm not mistaken, some 600 participants, which is some kind of record. Anyway, it shows that people are taking interest in heritage, and the very fact that young people are taking interest in heritage is a very, very laudable objective being served. They are the ones who are the future, and it is necessary for them to safeguard what is their own, what is their heritage, their legacy, which we leave behind for them, should be left behind for their future generations in a pristine condition. So, without much ado, I wish you all the very best, and thank you very much, Rindam, for once again organizing this excellent program, and of course the team of Bengal Chamber, along of the Heritage Committee of the Bengal Chamber, which has done human service to this activity. All the very best, and I'm sure it will go a long way in taking the heritage movement forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, James sir. Before we start the program and carry forward with the quiz, I would like to thank Dr. Shomitra Dottor, an eminent and renowned doctor of Kolkata, who is not only a doctor, but a renowned doctor, but he is a multifaceted individual who is multi-talented. I'll come to him when he will ask you the questions, and he's a special guest to our program. We also have Mr. Monish Chakraborty from SNU, an eminent heritage conservative person, and I, on behalf of the Bengal Chamber, wholeheartedly welcome them for taking out time from their very busy schedule. And we are very much thankful to both of them. Dr. Dotto has so kindly agreed to motivate these young minds. And so do Mr. Chakraborty. Thank you so much and welcome to this program. Just to give you a brief, sir, this is the second edition of the annual Heritage Quiz, which we do on the occasion of the World Heritage Day. And this year we had more than 600 teams from various schools all across India and UAE. So we first selected 40, and then after the semi-final, these are the six teams which has been selected, and now they will go for the final quiz. So I would quickly hand over to Orindam Bhattacharya, our quiz master, who is based out of Delhi. He will be conducting the quiz, and then we will move forward one by one to Dr. Dotto and to Mr. Chakraborty. Over to you, Orindam.
Thank you. A warm good evening to all the dignitaries around the Bengal Chamber and Commerce and Industry dignitaries, as well as Mr. GM Kapoor for showing faith in me for the second year in a row for conducting the Intact Heritage Quiz. My fellow team members Swati and Shreyas for being the backbone and the people behind this quiz, and of course the the brilliant young minds who have made it this far. So I think the different 12 different students from the six different schools who are here, and I think it's a very interesting mix of students where we've got students from Delhi, I think Lucknow, as well as from Kolkata. So I think it's a pretty nice spread of teams across. Without wasting much time, I'd like Shreyas, if you could do the randomizer so that we could know the top six teams in that order, which team comes first, which goes second, and so we can quickly do the randomizer. So the participants, I'm telling you the rule of the randomizer. By randomizer, what we are putting all the six teams in a box, and then we just randomize the order. So we come to know which team goes first and which team goes last. Okay, so here we go. So with the randomizer. Okay, Shreyas, yeah. So we've got the order. So our first
Mr. Bhattacharya, I think your net is giving a
team A
problem.
happens to be Don Bosco Bandel. I think it's pretty decent. Am I audible now? Or there's still flickering.
You're breaking up sometimes. So.
What about now? Am I okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Don Bosco Bandel is second. Then we've got Seth MR Jaipuria Lucknow at Team C. Okay. Then we have Tagore Vasant Vihar at Team 4. DPS Rohini at Team 5. And Team 6, that is Maharaja Agrasen Public School, Ashok Vihar. So we've got the six teams lined up. Okay. Now, without wasting much time, I'll quickly tell the rules of the quiz. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Without wasting much time, quickly tell the rules of the quiz. The rules go like this. Yeah, Shreyas, you can just remove this PPT for a while. Just remove this PPT for a while. Yeah. All the participants who are there in the quiz, as I call out the teams, both the members of the team, both the members of the team should be on the screen visible at the same point of time. Their hands should be clasped like this. Your hands have to be like this. Even if you're attending from the phone, your hands need to be like this. Shaurya Agarwal, DPS Rohini, I hope you've understood. Yeah, perfect, fantastic. Your hands need to be like this. There has to be no side talking. None of the questions pass. None of the questions pass. So if I'm asking the first question to DPS Greater Noida, the question sticks to DPS Greater Noida. If the question is addressed to participant A, only participant A or the first participant is allowed to answer that question. And then once his turn is over, his or her turn is over, then the question passes to the next team member. Are you clear? There are no negative marks. Feel free to guess. Feel free to guess. There are no negative marks. And follow the clues that I give you. Follow the clues that I give you. That shall help you answer the questions better. Okay? Are we sorted with the rules? So, Shreyas, you can bring up the screen now. Yeah. So the quiz shall be a general round on India and World Heritage. Each team shall get 2 questions. Predominantly, even though we've written World Heritage, but I've kept it more India-centric so that we know more about our Indian heritage first before we progress to the World Heritage. Every member shall get 1 question. I mentioned no questions passed, whether within the team or to other teams. 10 points for every correct answer, and you've got 15 seconds to answer a question. Any of the teams have any doubts or anything to clarify so that they can quickly ask me a question in case any of the team members ever out.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, how are we allowed to communicate between?
Can you speak a bit louder?
Sir, how are we allowed to communicate between the members?
You are not allowed to communicate between the members. So only your score gets added. That's it. You're not allowed to communicate between the members. Okay, Rishabh? Clear? Okay, fine. Okay, here we go. So Shreyas, are we ready to start? Team A, can I have both the members from DPS Greater Noida on the screen? I can see Divyanshu, and where's your partner? Samyak Jain. Shreyas, are both of them visible?
Yes, sir, both of them are visible.
Divyanshu and Samyak, kindly unmute yourself. It's very important to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Keep yourself unmuted. Fair enough. Who's going to come for the question first? Divyanshu?
Your hand should be visible like this.
Yeah. Divyanshu, please keep your hands like this. Swati, is Divyanshu's hands visible?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So who's going to come in first? Divyanshu or Samyak?
So Samyak.
Samyak is not audible.
Samyak, you aren't audible.
He's unmuted but not audible.
Samyak, please speak louder.
You're not audible.
He's not audible. Samyak, please speak louder.
Samyak, connect your earphones.
Connect your earphones. You have got earplugs? Yes, speak up, Samyak.
No.
So you aren't audible. No.
Mr. Bhattacharya, as Mr. Jain is not audible right now, can we ask Devanshu to take the...
Don't worry, ma'am. So I'm just sorting out. So what will happen, Samyak, Divyanshu? So I think now because Samyak is not audible, so I'll address both the questions to you. Samyak, keep yourself unmuted. Keep yourself unmuted. Keep yourself unmuted. I'll ask both the questions to Divyanshu in this round. So meanwhile, you'll get about one more round, about 7-8 minutes to sort your audio issue, so that for the next round, he's in our. Samyak, keep yourself unmuted. That's it. Okay. Divyanshu,
Samyak, you're not audible. You're not audible, Samyak. Connect your earphones. Maybe then you might be audible. Or change your speaker settings, mic settings on Zoom.
But anyways, now he can do it later. So let me just quickly start off with the question. Yeah, Divyanshu, here we go with your question. Divyanshu, please keep your hands like this. Samyak, please keep your hands like this. Please keep your hands like this. Yeah. Okay, here we go with your question, Divyanshu. The sweet was invented in the year 1935 by the chief chef Kakasura Madappa. The sweet is made of gram flour, ghee, and sugar. It was presented as a hot fudge-like sweet. The chef was called in by the ruler of the province and asked its name. As it is an experimental dish, the chef uttered whatever came to his name. Whatever came to his name. He just said something randomly. Thereafter, the name has stuck. The stuck for ages. Identify the sweet.
So is it Mysore Pak?
What did you say? You said Mysore Pak?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic quizzing. This is Mysore Pak. That gets you 10. Mysore Pak gets you 10. Excellent quizzing. Okay. So I ask the next question to you only because Samyak's audio isn't working. But Samyak, please keep your hands like this. Yeah, thank you. Okay, here we go with your next question. Try this out. As per one legend, the name of the community is derived from a shrine that is considered an incarnation of goddess Durga. Identify the sub-tribal group. It's a sub-tribal group of the Khasi community. And very interestingly, there are hills also named after the same tribal group or vice versa. There are hills also. And if you go into the northeastern part of India, you'll see about this sub-tribal group.
Is it Jaintia?
Absolutely, it's the Jaintia group. Perfect, it's the Jaintia group. Okay, excellent. Excellent quiz. It's the Jaintia group. Shreyas, are you able to spot something unusual?
No, sir, I don't think so.
Okay, perfect. It's the Jaintia group. Excellent quizzing. This is the Jaintia group. Okay, very good quizzing. So now we have Don Bosco Bandel coming up. Don Bosco Bandel. Meanwhile, Samyak, you go back, fix your.
Good evening,
audio.
sir.
Good evening. So I can see Arijit Chatterjee, and where's your other member? Shoma.
Sir, I am Show Mohammed.
And where is Arijit?
Yes, sir, I am also there.
Okay. So both of you unmute yourself.
Yes, sir, I am audible.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yes, sir.
And keep your hands like this. Keep your hands like this. Shoma, please keep your hands like this.
Yes, sir.
Swati, are they both visible properly?
Yes, sir. Both visible properly. Their hands are also visible.
Okay, so who's going to come up first? Who's coming up first?
Shoma.
Arijit and Shomaho, just quickly answer who's going to
Okay,
come up
I am
first. I am means Shomaho, right?
Shomaho. Yeah.
Okay, here we go with your question, Shomaho. It is believed that whoever visits this church and offers prayers to the mother is. Shoma, please get your other hand in place. Whoever visits this church and offers prayers to the mother is cured of his or her illness. Here, candles in different shapes of body organs like heart, lungs are available based on the ailment of a person. Lighting a candle of a particular shape is believed to cure the devotee of the ailment. Identify the church that originated in the 16th century. Even if you can tell me the location, geography, where it is situated, I can give you some points for that. You need to identify the church for me.
The location is Kolkata.
No, it's not Kolkata. It's not Kolkata. So let's look at the answer. It is known as the Velankani Church down south in Tamil Nadu. The church is dedicated to the Lady of Health. This is the church for the Lady of Health. Okay. Arijit, are you ready now for your question?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Here we go with your question, Arijit. Okay. Easy. You can guess it and you'll have the answer. Khatki was the original name of the village. That was converted into a capital city by the then Prime Minister of the Nizam, ruling the province. The place is also referred to as Khujastia Bunyad. Khujastia Bunyad by the chroniclers of Aurangzeb's age.
Thank you letter dita.
Identify the prominent and well-known city. Yeah, just think. Once you get Aurangzeb, Nizam, I think you should have the answer. Quizzing is also about guessing. The
Sir,
prominent and well-known.
New Delhi?
What do you say? New Delhi?
Yes, sir, New Delhi.
Okay. It's a bad guess because with Aurangzeb, you should have just thought in Nizam.
Yeah,
It's not central India. It's Aurangabad. The answer was there in the question. It was just a kind of a trick question.
Yeah.
So you should have just got that. Okay. Anyways, Team C, State MR Jaipuria.
Yes, sir.
Can we have both the members now on the screen? State MR Jaipuria. Swati, I think you need to remove the pin so that we can see both of them now. Devansh Singh and who's the other member? Sarthak Mishra. Devansh, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Sarthak, just speak up.
Yes, sir. I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Okay. Just keep your
Devansh
hands
goes first.
Okay, Devansh goes first. Okay. Here we go, Devansh, with your question. Easy one, don't mess this up. Name of this tribal community means high altitude goat keeper. Name the tribal community. The high altitude goat keeper should give you the answer. Think the northern part of India, you have a very prominent community there.
The Sherpa tribal community.
No, it's a good guess. It's a good guess. It's not Sherpas, it's the Bakarwals. Bakri? Goat means Bakri. Bakarwals, if you go to Kashmir, you find this community known as Bakarwals. Okay, next one. Okay. Sarthak. The mosque has a unique Hispanic style of architecture and is in one of its kind of structure in India. Since its inception has been managed by the heirs of Pahaga Amir Sir Vikarul Umrah or the Prime Minister of the Princely State. How do we better know the mosque as? What is this mosque known as? The Hispanic style should give you an answer. That answer is very much in the question.
Sir, Jama Masjid?
No, it's not Jama Masjid. Jama Masjid is not a Hispanic style. This is known as a Spanish mosque. Known as a Spanish mosque. That's why the question I said Hispanic mosque. Mosque of the Moor. Mosque of the Moor. Okay. Sukanya ma'am, do we have Dr. Soumitra Datta with us at this point of time?
Yes, sir has joined. We would request sir to ask question for Team D. Before I give it to sir, I would like to introduce him. He's an eminent and renowned doctor of Kolkata. Not only a doctor, he's an eminent photographer too. This shows that a person of his level with such a busy schedule is still maintaining his passion. So children, we want, as a chamber, we want to tell you, give you a message that how busy you are in life, that doesn't stop you to pursue from your passion. And also, I would like sir to say a few words before he goes to the question on how important culture and heritage is. And as a photographer, when he clicks picture, the essence of culture and heritage which attracts him. Sir, we
Mr.
are
Paul, am I
unable to
audible?
see. You are audible, sir. Just if you can fix your camera, the upper part of your face is not visible. Yes, sir. Now we can see you.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much, Sukanya, for providing me this opportunity to come over in this wonderful effort of yours. And thank you very much. And my heartiest congratulations to all those who are taking this wonderful quiz. I still remember my school days. But anyway, best of luck to everybody. I have been more or less all over the country and more so all over the world as well, thanks to my profession and my staying in different parts of the world at different times. But what uniquely has contributed to my development as a photographer as well as a doctor is life. You know, life is something which we see in such diverse natures everywhere, in every part of the place that I've visited. I think life is the most important word that that binds us, and everywhere life is very different from the other place. So every place in India has its own life, and that is manifested in all the whatever quiz I'm hearing now. It's all manifested in all the monuments, in all the cultures, in all the ways that people behave, all the whatever they get out of this world, and they give it back. That's nothing but a reflection of the culture, the heritage that life embarks on them. And so it's a lovely actually topic that you have brought up for this quiz. Now, my question first for Team D is, his traditional name means atom eater, an ancient Indian natural scientist and philosopher who founded the Vaisheshika school of Indian philosophy. So think about it. Identify it.
Who's going to come first, Aks or Nidhir?
Sir, Aks.
Yes. Okay. Think Indian philosophy. Think Indian philosophy or person.
The name comes in as a clue itself.
Sir, Vaishya.
Sorry, couldn't hear.
Sir, Rishi Vaishya.
No.
No. The answer is Acharya Kannad, and he is the person whose actually traditional name means atom eater, and he's the philosopher who actually founded the Vaisheshika school of Indian philosophy.
Now we move on to the next question. Who will come first?
Next question will come to Nidhir.
Sir, it's mine.
Yeah, Dr. Datta, you can ask the next question, please. Yeah.
Okay. And the
So
next question is,
I'll just start reading the question. Yeah.
It is believed that the fort adopted the name after a temple to worship a form of goddess Lakshmi that was built by the Marathas. Originally built in the year 1411 by Sultan Ahmad Shah I. So you got to identify the signature fort and the city where it is sourced. It's quite a famous place.
I'll just give you a clue.
Is the city.
I'll give you a clue. Think the western part of India. You should have your answer.
I'm not sure exactly.
Marathas, that should have given you. It's the Bhadra fort in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
That's why I said Western India. When I said Western India, you could have just, it's a very prominent, 1411 is a very important year. But that is the time when actually the Ahmedabad, city of Ahmedabad, the origin, that Gujarat, that entire area started developing, got into existence. Thank you, Dr. Datta, for your wonderful questions, for asking these two questions to the students, I think.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking up time for this and really motivating the young kids. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sukanya. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Okay, now we have DPS Rohini. Can we have both the members? Shubham Sharma and Shaurya Agarwal. Perfect. Both of you unmuted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shubham, just speak up, please.
Yes, sir.
Can you just speak a bit louder, because I think your microphone is a bit weak.
Sir, am I audible now?
Can you speak a bit louder?
Sir, am I audible now?
Okay, we'll manage. And Shaurya, just speak up.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, much better. Okay, so who's going to come up first, Shubham or Shaurya?
Ma'am,
Who's going to come up first?
sir, can I? Sure, can I?
Shaurya is coming first.
Yes, sure.
Yes, sir.
Shubham, just keep your hands like this. Okay, here we go. Shreyas, here we go with the question. Easy one, the state flower of Bihar. Simple. So every state of India has a state flower, state fish, state bird. They're actually known as the state emblems. What is the state flower of Bihar?
Sir, the Bohania variegata. I do not know the correct pronunciation.
So can you spell it out?
Sir, it's called the Bohania variegata.
What's it known as?
Uh, Sir, the Ashoka flower.
Ashoka flower. No, it's not the Ashoka. It's known as the Kachnar. Kachnar. It's
Yes.
known as the Kachnar, not the Ashoka flower.
So, sir, will it count as a correct answer or no?
No, it doesn't. The answer is Kachnar. Okay. Here we go, Shubham Sharma. I can sense. Shreyas, can you sense something missing? I think he's just looking up and down. There's a lot of eye movement.
Yes, sir. He was saying Bohemia something. I don't remember. And then he looked up and then he said Ashok flower.
Yes. So, Shaurya, please ensure in case there's someone in your room, please ask them to vacate your room.
No, sir, there isn't. I was thinking, so I was looking both up and down.
No,
and
there's one request to all the teams. Even if you're thinking, try and look into the screen. Don't look up and down because in online quiz runs on trust. So at any level, we believe any protocol being broken, we are forced to think that you're stepping on the gray line. So just keep that in mind. So it's just a kind of warning. You might have been very fair, but I'm trying to give you that. Okay, Shubham, here goes your question. Okay, easy one. The place was formerly known as Saket, and as per Jain tradition, the birthplace of 5 of the Tirthankars named Rishabhanantha, Ajitanantha, Abhinandanan, Sumatinath, and Anantanath happened here. How do we better know the place as? Extremely in the news for political reasons, very famous political reasons, not too far away from Delhi, on the eastern side of Delhi, a place located in UP, name it. A place in UP known as Saket. Yeah, your time's up. Any answer, Shubham? Yeah, Shubham?
No, sir.
Okay. Here we go with the answer. It's Ayodhya. That's why it says politically in the news. It's in UP. The answer is Ayodhya. Okay. Maharaja Agresian Public School. Can we have?
Yes, sir.
I can see Soumya Singhal, Rishabh Gupta. Okay. Perfect. So who's going to come up first?
Rishabh Gupta.
Rishabh. Soumya, can I see your hands like this? Thank you. Okay. Here we go with your question, Rishabh. Easy one. The festival is also observed as Tripura Purnima Snan. The tradition of lighting of the lamps on this day was first started at the Panch Ganga Ghat in Varanasi in 1985. This festival falls just after Diwali. What is this festival known as?
Is that the Tripura version of Dussehra?
You're saying the Tripura version of Dussehra? Oh, bad miss. I think this is very much in the news. This is Dev Deepavali. For the past few years, Narendra Modi has been going to Varanasi to light the lamps there, known as a Dev Deepavali. Dev Deepavali. Okay. Soumya, here we go with your question. Easy one. Who has authored the compilation Rakat-e-Alamgiri? Rakat-e-Alamgiri, a very, very prominent and important ruler or monarch. Yeah. Can you speak a bit louder?
I'm not able to recognize the name.
Bad miss. This is second one on Aurangzeb. This is Aurangzeb wrote Rakat-e-Alamgir. That's why it's a very prominent ruler. Okay. This round would be the visual rounds. But we'll start with team F only. Soumya Singhal and Rishabh Gupta would be we reverse the order. That is, we now go from F to A. and we'll run this round very fast. So here we go with your questions. So who's going to come? Soumya, please unmute yourself. And both of you need to be a bit louder on the microphone. And please keep your hands like this. Okay. Who's going to come up first? Rishabh, you're coming first?
Yes, sir.
Here we go with your question, Rishabh. Okay. This is the question. You see a statue here? This is of a kind of a goddess, or we can call her demigoddess. And this is actually a statue of a very, very prominent river that flows through Europe. Of a river that flows through Europe and has a very, very strong mythical connection also. A lot of songs have been also created around this river.
Athena?
What did you say?
Athena.
Aquila. No, it's not Aquila. It's a river Danube. That's why I said there are a lot of songs around Danube. It's a mythical river. They believe that in some senses Danube is also believed and worshipped as goddess of water. So this is the river Danube. Okay, Soumya, here we go with your visual. Okay. I think when we're doing a heritage quiz, there is also a very, very strong component of sports heritage also. This gentleman was known as the Tiger of Bombay. And a very, very famous sports person. Two-part question. Even if you give me any one part, I'll give you points. Either tell me the sport in which he was very famous, he was a world champion in, the sport in which he was a world champion, or name him. No, Tiger of Bombay, the sport in which he was a world champion, or the name of the gentleman.
Is he from wrestling?
What did you say?
Wrestling.
Okay. And what's his name?
No.
Okay. I think when you quiz, I'm just giving you a clue. When you quiz, you have to also look into the gait of a person. How he's looked. But I should not be saying a wrestler would look far more crudely dressed. Very, very crudely dressed with a very different kind of a body language. This gentleman happens to be known as Michael Ferreira, and the sport happens to be billiards. And this is Michael Ferreira. Okay. DPS Rohini, can we have both the members now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So who's going to come up first?
Sir Shubham.
Okay, Shubham, you're coming first? Okay. Here we go with your question, Shubham. Okay. Identify this legendary person, a famous singer from the Bollywood yesteryears. And in fact, he's legendary for having sung a song by Wajid Ali Shah, the famous Nawab of Oud known as Babul Mora. Name this gentleman. An iconic voice. A lot of modern day singers who developed have actually looked upon him as their idol. Indian music, film, heritage.
Rafi. Is it Rafi?
What are you saying?
Rafi.
No, it's not Muhammad Rafi. His name is Kundanlal Sehgal or KL Sehgal. Kundanlal Sehgal or KL Sehgal. In case you have not heard this name, go back and read about this gentleman. Okay. Maharaja Agresian Public School, here goes your question.
Sir, the other team member of DPS.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Sir, the other team member of DPS.
Yeah, he'll ask, no? He'll answer. Shaurya answers this question. Yeah. Shaurya, here we go with your question. Yeah.
Yes.
Shaurya, just act like this. Yeah. Okay. This is a kind of a fruit belonging to the citrus family. The same family, we have oranges, we have lemons. What do we call this variety of citrus fruits as? What is it known as? Like you have lemon, we have oranges. What is it known as?
Sir, I think it's called kumquat.
What do you say?
Kumquat.
Excellent quizzing. This is kumquat. This is known as kumquat.
Yes.
Kumquat gets you 10. This is kumquat. This is kumquat. Shreyas, I still suspect there is something fishy.
Yes, sir. I heard a notification message, but I didn't know whether it came from your screen or his or someone else's.
In my screen, there is no notification. I don't have a notification process also.
I heard a
But
notification message. I don't know which screen. That's just about
yes,
it.
but now we can't help it. Shaurya, I'm again telling you. Shubham, once I go off, once your team goes offline, please discuss Shaurya. Because I'm suspecting something fishy here. Because if something goes wrong and I'm forced to disqualify based on just a judgment call, then the matter gets escalated to your school and it just reflects a bad name on you.
So I can promise you, even if it will not make a difference, that I am not doing anything. But
Please, chalo, okay, anyways. Team D, TISVV. TISVV, can I have both the members now? Quickly on screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who's going to come up first? Nidir or
Sir, Sir.
Aks? Here we go with your question, Aks. Okay. Identify this legendary gentleman. Who's the legendary gentleman whom you see on the screen? India's music heritage.
Sir, I don't know this one.
Okay. This is Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, the legendary person in the musical genre. Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma playing the santoor. Okay. Nidir, here we go with your question. Okay. Very, very famous fort. Very, very famous fort of the Marathas. Very, very famous fort of the Marathas. Identify this fort. What is it?
Sir, Daulatabad Fort.
Good try. It's not the Daulatabad fort. It's the Singer fort. It's the Singer fort
Okay.
in Maharashtra. Okay. The Singer fort.
Okay.
Right. Next year state MR Jaipuria Lucknow.
Yes, sir.
Please unmute yourself. So who's going to come up first?
Sir, I am coming first.
Sarthak?
Yes, sir, Sarthak.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Okay. Identify this legendary person, the singer, a person who's lent her voice, one of the legends in the field of classical.
Sir, is this MS Subulakshmi?
No, it's a good try. It is not MS Subulakshmi. She looks a bit different. She is Kishori Amonkar. This is Kishori Amonkar. Okay. Note down these names for your subsequent quizzes. This will really help you for your further quizzes. Okay. Devansh Singh. Yeah. Okay. This is a World Heritage Quiz. Identify this visual representation of which heritage site. Devansh, please speak a bit louder.
Sir, Hampi.
I can't hear you. What are you saying? I can't hear you.
He says Humpy.
No, this is not Hampi. This is not Hampi.
I'm hearing a lot of background noise, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Yeah, background noise. I think from a student side, I think, right?
No, sir, it's coming from your end.
Okay. Okay, is it okay now?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, clear. Okay, so who's going to come up first? Arijit or Shomoho?
Arijit.
Arijit. Okay, fantastic. Arijit, here we go with your question first. Oh, easy one. Just think and answer. Identify this legendary person. Again, a part of a sports heritage. The first Indian to reach the Wimbledon semi-finals, identify this gentleman. These are questions which should be on your tips.
No, sir.
This is Ramanathan Krishnan. You heard of Ramanathan Krishnan? The famous tennis player, the father of
Yeah,
Ramesh.
sir.
This is Ramanathan Krishnan. Okay. Shomoho, here's your question.
Yes.
Okay. Easy one. Identify this legendary actor.
Soumitra Chattopadhyay.
Excellent quizzing. This is Soumitra Chatterjee. Soumitra Chatterjee, this is luck of the draw. You got Soumitra Chatterjee and you got it. Great. So 10 points to you. So excellent quizzing. And I think film heritage in Calcutta, we can't miss Soumitra Chatterjee or Satyajit Ray. So there had to be a Ray connection. So hence Soumitra walked in and you answered it. This is a young Soumitra Chatterjee. Okay. DPS Greater Noida, can we have both the members now? Samyak, please
Yes.
speak up. Samyak, please.
Sir, am I audible?
Perfect. You're perfectly audible. And Divyanshu? Okay. So who's going to come up first, Samyak or Divyanshu?
Sir, Samyak.
Samyak. Okay. Here we go with your question, Samyak. Okay. Identify the painter. This is a painting. The painting was done by whom? A legendary painter.
Sir, Ravi Verma.
Excellent answer. This is Raja Ravi Verma. This is Raja Ravi Verma with his painting. Okay. Divyanshu Chamoli, here's your question. Okay. Identify this famous sports person. And he was unfortunately murdered. And the first to win this particular award, he won a gold medal and he's the first Indian to win the gold medal in his sport. In that event. Yeah, Divyanshu.
I don't know, sir.
Okay. This is Syed Modi. This is Syed Modi winning the 1982 gold medal at the Commonwealth Games for badminton. The Syed Modi for badminton. So we are done with 2 rounds. The third round is a round which will be a guest round. Even though we've written as a sponsor, this is a guest round. There is some questions I'll be asking, and there are certain questions which our guests would be asking. Shukanya ma'am, can I start with the questions?
Yes.
Because I think our first,
This round again, sir.
you can just indicate me once the guest has to come and ask the questions. So I think the first questions I'll do for team A, I'll do both the questions, and then I think the guest will come in. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Can
So
any
who's
member
going
of the team can answer the guest question?
Yeah. So who's going to come in first?
Sir,
So the
Samyak.
format
Sir,
shall
Samyak.
remain the same. Samyak is going to. The format remains the same. So any one member will have to answer the guest question. The other member answers the other question. Okay. So Samyak. Okay. Here we go with your question, Samyak. The river flows through the northeastern part of India and is known as the Surma, Kushyar and Meghna in Bangladesh. How do we know the river in India that also shares its name with a very prominent valley? Yeah, Samyak.
Sir, I know the answer. Sir, Brahmaputra.
Good logical trait. It's not the Brahmaputra Valley, it's the Barak Valley. Barak Valley. Again, the same Assam. That is where you're the Barak Valley. This is the Barak Valley. Okay, Divyanshu, here's your question. Okay. She's regarded as a very interesting question. She is regarded as the eldest sister. She's regarded as the eldest sister of the Hindu goddess Lakshmi. Lakshmi is missing here. The Hindu goddess Lakshmi. And is actually considered the goddess of inauspicious things and misfortune. So, like if goddess Lakshmi is considered to be the goddess of prosperity, wealth, and fortune, she is the eldest daughter of Hindu goddess Lakshmi and is considered to be the goddess of inauspicious things and misfortune.
Sir, is it Jeshta?
Excellent quizzing. This is Jeshta. This is Jeshta. Very good quizzing. This is Jeshta. Excellent quizzing. So now, okay, now my question goes to, so Sukanya ma'am, I think the sponsor
Yes.
will come at this point, or
it is actually this guest round. So I will now request Ms. Reshmi Chatterjee, the co-chairperson of the Heritage Committee of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And she is also an entrepreneur and a curator. She runs her own company known as Hello Heritage, which is actually an heritage-based organization. So I would request Reshmi Di to come up and ask one question, please.
Just one. Hello. Good evening. Good evening,
Reshmi Di, you're on mute.
You're on mute. Just good evening. One thing, I'll just clarify. So between the two members, who's going to come up and take this question? Shomoho or Arijit?
Arijit.
Okay, Arijit. Reshma, you can address your question to Arijit.
Thank you, Shukana. Yes, today is a World Heritage Day, and the main aim is to spread awareness. And to this question, I say that what connects the name of a tribe based out of Jharkhand with a web series starring Arshad Warshi? Is it clear? What connects the name of a tribe based out of Jharkhand with a web series starring Arshad Warsi? I can't tell. There's also a hint. Yes.
Yeah, I think the time's up. I think Shomoho is itching to give the answer. Shomoho, the answer is right. The answer is Asur.
Yes.
But your partner did not get it, so there are no points to you apart from love. Love, affection, happiness, hug. You'll get everything from us, but for points. This is Asur. It's Arshad Warsi. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Reshmi Di. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. I think the next question I'll only have to ask, and then I think yes. Perfect. Okay. Shomo, here's your question from my side. Okay. Shreyas, can we have the next question for Shomo? Okay. Easy one, Shomo. Don't miss this one. The river derives its name from Sanskrit meaning rope around the belly. Rope around the belly. Identify this prominent river that flows through the eastern part of India. Rope around the belly in Sanskrit, when translated, gives name to the river. A very, very important that flows through the eastern part of India. Interesting is a Bengal connection also.
Damodar?
Oh, excellent quizzing. The answer is Damodar. Very good quizzing. This is Damodar. Damodar means rope around the belly. Excellent quizzing. Okay. So now we move to the
Team C.
Yeah, Team C. I think at this point, we have the question from
Mr. Manish Chakraborty, who is also a professor and head School of Architecture and Planning of Sustain Nivedita University. I want to convey our thanks to Mr. Chakraborty for carving out time and also for supporting in this annual heritage quiz. SNU has always been a great support, and Professor Chakraborty, we would like to thank you for coming up with the question. I would now request you to place the question, please.
Just before Mr. Chakraborty asks his question, just one thing. Between Devansh and Sarthak, who's going to come up first?
Sir, I'll go first.
Okay. So, Dr. Chakraborty, you can address your question to Sarthak Mishra.
Yeah, I go straight to the question. The city gets its name from the local word for a strip of land. And its second part of the name coming from the name of the founder of the city. You have to identify the city from a North Indian state of India. your time started.
Sir, is this Shahjahanpur?
No, I'm afraid no. It's got to do with a great cricketer, Mansoor Ali Pataudi. It's Patiala.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and Patti means strip of land, and Allah is the founder of the city Patiala. Allah Singh, right? Yeah.
Mr. Chakraborty, before we move ahead, I would like you to say a few words about this initiative and how SNU thought.
I think it's a great initiative by yourself and BCCI and INTAC, of course, which is a national organization promoting heritage, as we all know, and I'm sure all the participants knows about that. And to me and to many of us, I think any word which comes to my mind happens to be a matter of heritage. Heritage can mean where we come from, which shapes us today. Heritage can mean the natural landscape, the land, water, and mountain. Heritage can mean also my family, yeah, and the planet Earth. About understanding myself, who we are, where we are, where do we go from here? So this continuity of heritage, I think it's very important. It's like the umbilical cord to the past. And you work on the present for a better, improved, build on future. And I think this connection is very important in whatever we do. And that's heritage. That's heritage to everyone. It can be a built heritage. It's not only about conserving some monuments, it's about conserving our landscapes, conserving our family, conserving the communities for a better connectivity and future. So I would like to say this, and thank you. I think it's a great initiative. I think the students are going to learn more and more with this wonderful quiz that is going on. I also was learning in the process in the last half an hour. There's so much in India to see and know, and there's so much for us to build upon. And
absolutely, I agree, Mr. Chakraborty, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. Please stay with us, and I will now move on to the next question. Mr. Bhattacharya, if you may please take it forward.
Yeah, I think the next question I'll have to ask to the team. I think Sarthak has already answered, so the next question goes to Devansh Singh. Yeah, Shreyas, you can pull the next question up. Okay, think and answer. The answer is very much in the question itself. Just keep your hands like this, Devansh. Yeah, thank you. The term X, when I say X, is means of a tribal community I'm looking about, is used to refer to various ethnic communities living in the forests and hills of Rajasthan's southern parts and surrounding regions of Western India. And they highlight the popularity of the bow and arrow as a weapon among these groups. Identify X, this tribal community. Bow and arrow, I think you should just think one tribal community and go for the answer. What are you saying? Please speak a bit louder, Devansh.
Sir, Bhil.
Ma'am, what did he say? Did he say Bhil or Bheem?
Bhil.
What did he say?
Bhil.
Bhil, fair enough. So absolutely. So you get points for Bhil. Bhil gets you 10. But Devansh, can you just work on your audio a bit? Because the audio is coming really low. Really, really low. Okay, the Bhil. So you get 10 points for it. So I think at the next stage, I think we have got the next Guest is here, ma'am?
Yes, we have Mr. Tanmoy Banerjee. He is a member of the Heritage Committee of the Bengal Chamber and the Director of RT Network Solutions Private Limited. He has been supporting this initiative for last 2 years, and we are very much thankful for his enthusiasm, for his support that makes us drive this kind of initiative. Tanmada, welcome, and would like you to say a few encouraging words to this young, talented bunch of children here, and then move on to your question.
Thanks, Shikona, for the introduction. This looks lovely. So many students. It reminds us of our school days when we used to do our quizzes and jams and all together. And in a national level, with so many participants coming in, and Mr. Bhattacharya conducting it in such a good way, this is really refreshing to see. So who's winning right now? A, B, C, D, I, C. See, Mr. Bhattacharya, which is the team which is leading right now?
I think it's DPS Greater Noida is, I think, in a clear lead at this point of time.
Oh, that's great. So am I questioning the champion team, or am I questioning somebody who is at the lower rank of the table?
You're going to question a team which wants to win, so they're still in the race.
Lovely. So best of luck. Before I ask the question, so I'll ask you the question right now.
So just one thing. So between your team, Aks and Nidhir, who's going to come up first? Aks or Nidhir?
Nidhir. Sir, Nidhir.
Aks, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
So you are coming first, Aks?
Sir, Nidhir. Sir, me, Nidhir.
Okay. So you can ask your question, Nidhir.
Yeah. So the name of this city is derived from the conjunction of local words meaning a fortified place. A South Indian city which we are talking about houses a premier management education institution in the country. Identify the city. Your time starts now.
Bangalore.
Sorry?
Bangalore.
I think your time is up.
Sir, I answered before. It's Bangalore. I think I tried.
There's a lot of background noise still coming in.
Ma'am, it's from my side.
Are you traveling?
Ma'am, I'm sitting in a waiting room, so there's
Background noise.
What was the answer? Somebody answered or not?
No one answered. He failed.
No, Mr. Bhattacharya. I think Nidhir answered something, right, Nidhir?
I answered, but I got the answer wrong.
He answered Bangalore, but he got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyhow, that was a nice try. So best of luck for your next question. I'll pass it over to Mr. Bhattacharya, and a big congratulations to Shukonna and the entire BCCI team for conducting this sort of a quiz contest.
Thank you, Tanmada. You will be happy to know that we had around more than 600 teams coming from all over India and UAE. And we did a first round of selection where we had 40 teams, which got further selected. And this is the final 6 teams which are competing here today.
I think this is really refreshing. So best of luck to all the contestants who are still there in the final round. Keep it up.
And thank you so much for joining us, Tanmada. Thank you so much. Bye. Over to you, Mr. Bhattacharya.
I think is Dr. Reed.
Mr. Bhattacharya, we are unable to hear you. Shreyas, can you please take it forward?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Okay, so Aks, a question. A part of Hyderabadi cuisine is a regional variation of the samosas. It's made from flour and stuffed with minced mutton known as keema. It's eaten as an evening snack or served as a starter at celebrations. What is it known as? Hyderabadi cuisine stuffed with keema, starter, evening celebrations.
answer ready.
Yep. The answer is Lukhni. We'll come on to Team E.
We have a guest who will ask the first question for Team E.
EPS Rohini. Before
Shreyas,
that,
can you hear me?
will Shaurya take the question or Shubham?
Shaurya.
Okay.
Shreyas, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Shreyas, we have our guest here, Mr. Reet Basu, who is the head BDCR of Woodlands Multispeciality Hospital. He will be taking up Team E's question. I would like to introduce Mr. Reet. Mr. Basu, welcome to this second edition of the annual Heritage Quiz, which is also supported by Woodlands Multispeciality Hospital for last 2 years. And as I mentioned, that you will be happy to know that we had participation from all across India. We had more than 600 teams. We had participants from India as well as UAE, and these are the 6 best teams which are now competing. Before you start with your question, I would like to just say a few words on why you think heritage is important and how Woodland, also being an heritage organization of Kolkata, has come up in supporting this initiative. Over to you, Mr. Basu.
Thank you, Sukanya. Woodlands Hospital you mentioned is 76 years old. Like it's as old as independent India. And about heritage, heritage, the initiative that you've taken to conduct a quiz on heritage, and the questions are pretty difficult. We, in our school days, as others were saying as well, we have participated quizzes, and this, the level of quizzing here is right at the top. I can tell you that. 600 schools participating, that was fantastic. I mean, and hearty congratulations to all of the 6 teams who are here today. They've fought their way through. And what happens is, you see, when you study in depth about the heritage or the cultural heritage, the roots of places in India and abroad, what you're actually doing is that you're imbibing an interest, an actual interest in those places, which makes you respect yourself, your own country, and the rest of the world as well, what belongs to others. So on that note, I would thank you for having BCCI for having me as a representative of Woodlands here today to ask the question. I'll go to the question now. Who will answer?
Sorry, you're not allowed to read out the question.
Who is going to? Acha, Shaurya is going to answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this river is better known as the Mahayadi River. How do we better know this river? How is it better known as?
Sir, Brahmaputra?
No, that's not the right answer. It's Mandovi, and it's known as the lifeline of Goa. It's in Goa. It's known as the lifeline of Goa, this river. Nice try, but not the right answer. Thank you.
Shreyash, I would request you to place the second question on screen. I think Reet doesn't have the second question with him. Reet, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yes, if you can also read out the second question.
Okay.
And I'm unable to see Reet on screen. Yeah.
Thank you. The prominent dynasty which had its footprints across present-day Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, is believed to have been derived in Prakrit from Sanskrit meaning driven by 7. That is, chariot of 7 god driven by 7 horses.
Can I add something to the clue to Shubham? See, just think it's a Central Indian dynasty. When you translate, you'll get very much answer there. 7. What did you say?
Tatvana dynasty.
Yeah, Reet sir, I think they've got the answer. This is Satvahana. And And they
Very
get the name from Saptavahana.
Yes, sir. He got it right. He got it
You
right.
got it. Got it right. Saptavahana means 7 Vahan, horses, or 7 vehicles.
Thank you so much, Reed, for joining us.
So over to you in
It
case
is
any
smart.
comments.
Now we move on to Team D.
Team F.
Oh, Team F, okay.
So I think, ma'am, we are done with all the guest
Yes,
questions.
you please carry on, Mr. Bhattacharya, with the questions.
There was some network glitch at my end, so suddenly I logged out. I don't know why. Okay, anyways. Okay. So who's going to come up first?
Rishabh.
Rishabh. Okay. Here we go with your question, Rishabh. Okay. Just think and answer. Which medieval Indian dynasty was founded by Khizr Khan, the former governor of Multan, and ruled through the period of 1414 to 1451? And over here, the context of asking this question is in relation to the Delhi Sultanate. The Delhi Sultanate. So, the Khizr Khan was founder of this dynasty, which ruled through the period 1414 to 1451 before the Lodhis came in. Which dynasty?
Tughlaq.
Tughlaq, sir, before that, if you look into the timelines, Tughlaq would be more in the 1300s. Okay, then the answer is the Sayyid dynasty. They were the ones who were sandwiched between the two. The Sayyid dynasties. Okay. Soumya, here's your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll give you some more add-ons. He was the elder brother, rather the eldest brother of Shantanu. Because we all know about Shantanu, Ganga, Bhishma. And interesting, he was the oldest warrior to fight in the Mahabharata war. He was the oldest warrior to fight in the Mahabharata war. And in fact, from his name, a province also gets its name in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region of Afghanistan, Pakistan, that belt. There's a region also in that named after him. Who's his oldest warrior to fight in the Mahabharata war? Name him. The oldest warrior. And he also has a province there.
Is he? But
Yeah, what are you saying? Yeah.
no, it's not. No.
Okay. Should I give you the answer?
Yeah.
His name is Bahalika or Bahalik. And the province that we're talking, Afghanistan, and that part is Bahalk. The Bahalk province. It gets its name from Bahalik because he was ruler there. So very interesting story of Bahalik. He died on the 4th day of the war. So if you read about the story of Mahabharata, you'll come to know about Bahalik and his story. Okay, so I think we're done with 3 rounds. So before we move to round 4, we'd like to take a look at the scores. So Swati, would you be able to help us out with the scores? Or Shreyas would help
Yes,
us out?
sir. Here are the scores. Swati, just correct me if I'm wrong anywhere.
Yeah, sure.
First position, we have DPS Greater Noida at 40 points. The second position, we have a tie between DPS Rohini and Don Bosco Bandale with 20 each. Coming in next is Team C, Seth Himar Jaipuria at 10. And the last currently haven't opened their account, Maharaja Agrasen Ashok Vihar and Tagore Vasant Vihar.
Okay, so now here we move to the, yeah. So it's a pretty tight quiz. I believe it's still anybody's quiz. This is the last round of the quiz. So any one member of the team can opt for this round. Only one member of the team goes for this round. And that member shall be asked 3 questions from the topic that gets allocated to them. From the topic that gets allocated to them. If you get all 3, and this round is actually scoring is 15 per question. So this is a specialist round, 15 per question. So 15 per question, that is, if you get all 3 right, you get 45. And if you're able to crack all 3, you get a 15 bonus. That makes it 60. So this round can change the entire quiz upside down. So that means 15 per question makes it. So I've just changed the rules because I think it's a high stake quiz. There's a tiebreaker. So Shreyas has mentioned 10 points for every correct answer. So I think we're going with 15 points for every correct answer and 15 points bonus for getting all answers correct. Okay. So Shreyas, you can do the randomizer. Okay, here are the 6 topics. Let's see who gets what. Okay, DPS Greater Noida gets wildlife. Don Bosco gets culture, tradition, and belief. St. MR Jaipuria gets monuments and heritage. Team 4 gets literature, mythology, faith, legends, and fables. DPS Rohini gets geography, and the last team gets art and craft. Perfect. So we start with DPS Greater Noida with wildlife. Who's going to come up first?
Sir, are we reversing the order or?
No, let's go straight. That doesn't matter anyways now.
Okay.
We're starting with team A.
I will go.
Okay. So Divyansh Shamoli, you are coming, and I also want to see your partner on the screen.
Sir, I am there.
Okay, where is I? Perfect. Samyak, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay, here we go. Divyanshu, here goes your question. Right? The alpine musk deer. The alpine musk deer is the state animal of which state? The alpine musk deer is the state animal of which state?
So Uttarakhand?
Excellent quizzing. This is Uttarakhand. It's actually Uttarakhand. Good quizzing. This is Uttarakhand. Okay, here we go. In which state of India? In which state of India would you find the Tamor Pingla Wildlife Sanctuary? The Tamor Pingla Wildlife Sanctuary.
So can you repeat the wildlife sanctuary name?
Tamor Pingla. Tamor Pingla Wildlife Sanctuary.
So Chhattisgarh.
Good answer. This is Chhattisgarh. And do you have a Bluetooth somewhere around?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, it is known as Gayal. It is known as Gayal. How do we popularly know this? How do we popularly or commonly know this animal as? This is referred to as Gayal by the people of this region. How do we popularly know this animal as? Yeah, your time's up. The time's up. The time is up. The answer is Mithun. Mithun. So I think in one of your rounds you had a question on Mithun. This is Mithun, known as Gayal by the people of the northeastern part of India. Perfect. So next is we have got culture, tradition, and belief. Okay, so we've got Don Bosco Bandel coming up. So they get 30 for culture, tradition, and belief. Okay. So who's going to come from your side?
Sir, I will be going.
Shomoha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chalo, there we go with your question. Interesting question. So try and answer this. Okay. He was born Vijay Kumar Naidu. He was born Vijay Kumar Naidu. In the year 1989, he launched a movement known as the Oneness Movement. The Oneness Movement, a form of a new religious movement to give mass enlightenment to humanity and integrate the golden age. That happened around 2012 also. Interestingly, he's also known by a particular name, which is also an avatar of Lord Vishnu. And a book on that avatar of Lord Vishnu is also written by some person. And as per Indian mythology, it is believed that avatar of Vishnu is yet to come on the earth. Name, how do we know him as?
Kalki Bhagwa.
Perfect. This is Kalki Bhagwan. He's known as Kalki Bhagwan. Okay. Next question. These are a group of supernatural beings in Indian religion who possess magical powers. In the Hindu epics, they're described as doing different activities. Like if you read Amar Chitrakatha, you'll see some people throwing flowers on gods, playing the music. They would be also watching combats between two warriors, and they'll be also doing a lot of music and laughter. They are described as they're they're described as doers of good. They're described as doers of good and devoted to joy. They also live in the Gandhamadhan mountains and other Himalayan mountains with Kinnaras. Their name when translated means wisdom holders. Wisdom holders. How do we know them as? Shay says this is a long question. We'll give them an extra time for the next question. The name when translated means wisdom holders. How do they know them as?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir. I don't know.
I'll give you the answer. This is the Vidyadhars. The Vidyadhars.
Vidyadhars. Okay.
Okay. The last question. Atma Shatakam. Atma Shatakam is a devotional composition comprising 6 verses or shlokas in Sanskrit. Name the author.
Sir, can you repeat the name?
Yeah, Atma Shatakam. Atma Shatakam.
Adi Shankara.
Excellent quizzing. Excellent quizzing. This is Adi Shankaracharya. So, wisdom holder you should have got because you're a good quiz team. I was expecting you to get Vidyadhars. Wisdom, Vidya, just add the 2. So you're a good quiz team. Maybe it was just that it did not click you at times. So that could have actually turned the quiz in your favor. But anyways, that's how it works. Chalo, anyways. Now, I think we've got State MR Jaipur for Monuments and Heritage. Okay. Can I have other member also on screen? So who's going to come up, Sarthak or Devansh?
Sir, I'll go.
Okay. Okay. Sarthak is coming, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just speak a bit louder.
Yes, sir. Am I audible clearly?
Yeah, you're audible. Perfect. Here you go. This is Monuments, Fort, Heritage. So you'll have a little bit of history also here. Heraios. Heraios, it is spelled as Heraios, is claimed to have founded which dynasty? Heraios is, let's say Heraios with which dynasty?
Sir, Solanki dynasty?
Okay, next one. Which fort stands testament? Which fort stands testament to the 4 ornamental gates, known as the Kakatiya Kala Thoranam? These gates formed the symbol of the Kakatiya dynasty and was also the state symbol of Telangana. At present, the state symbol of Telangana. Which fort? I repeat again. The fort stands testament to the 4 ornamental gates known as the Kakatiya Kala Thoranam. These gates form the symbol of the Kakatiya dynasty, is also now the state symbol of Telangana.
Sir, Golconda Fort?
Bad miss. The next one. The gateway was built by Nawab Asaf Ad-Daula. And modeled after the Sublime Porte or the port in Istanbul. How do we know it as? If you go to Lucknow, you'll see this. How is it known as? What do we call it as? Nawab Asaf Ad-Daula? I think you are from Lucknow. So
this is a gateway?
Can you be more precise?
Sir, what did you ask in the question? Is it a gateway?
This is a gateway. This is a gateway.
Rumi Darwaza.
Excellent answer. This is a Rumi Darwaza. Good answer. The Rumi Darwaza gets you 15. So you met Heraios as Kushans, and what you said as Golconda Fort is the Warangal Fort.
Okay, sir.
This is the Warangal Fort. Okay. So we can have Tagore Vasant Vihar now. I think their topic is.
Oh, yes, sir.
Just I think your topic is who's going to come up from.
Sir,
Sir Axwell. Okay. Yours is literature. Yours is literature. Okay. Easy one. Your question. On his work, on whose on his work is the on whose work is the movie Pincher based? Pincher
Sir,
was a
which
very the movie's name was Pincher. Pincher.
Sir, I don't know.
Next time when you are for a quiz, you should get a fixed location. I made an exception allowing you.
Yes, sir.
Based on which?
Sir, I don't know this one.
Next one. Who has authored Prithviraj Raso?
Raja, sir. Sir, I don't know this one.
And who has written Panchatantra?
Sir?
Who has written Panchatantra? Bad misses.
Sir, I knew the last one, but the first two ones are not good. Man, sir, the sir is the last one, Vishnu Sharma.
Absolutely. Last one, Vishnu Sharma. Prithviraj Raso was Chand Bardai, and Pinjar is Amrita Pritam. Pinjar is Amrita Pritam. Okay. So now we have DPS Rohini with geography.
Yes, sir. Shubham, I'm taking.
So who's going to come up?
Sir Shubham will.
Sir Shubham.
Okay. Here we go, Shubham. With which city will we associate the Charbagh railway station?
Sir, what?
With which city will we associate the Charbagh railway station? What did you say?
Lucknow.
Okay. Next question. The river was known as Purushni. The river is known as Purushni in ancient. River was known as Purushni in ancient Indian times. How do we know it now as? Purushni, how do you know it now as? Okay, should I move to the next one?
Puravi. Ravi.
No, Shreyas, I think we have to disqualify the team.
Yes, sir, agreed.
I think,
Yeah.
Sukanya ma'am, can you just come up? Sukanya ma'am, I think there has been extensive cheating by the team. Where
Which
someone
team?
has actually, team B, they have been feeded with answers by someone. And someone has been typing out the answers after them.
There is a lot of disturbance also.
Sir, this
Yes.
is not from my end or our team.
So I am not
Sir,
asking
may
any
I
more
ask?
questions. I am not disqualifying you. I am not going to ask you any more questions in this round. So
Mr.
whatever you,
Bhattacharya, whatever you deem fit as the quiz master.
because I've been warning them from the first step. So whatever is their score, they stick to that. And because they answered Lucknow, I'm giving them points, and the entire approach of answering to be looked doubtful. But anyways, I'm a very, very balanced quiz master, so I give people opportunities. Because I don't like disqualifying, and DPS Rohini, because I've known this team for a long period of time, I've been very, very lenient with their style of quizzing and answering. But I'm stopping it at this point. I'm not asking them my third question. You cannot say Puravi. Even if you said Puravi, you should not have got points for that. That's the wrong answer. But it definitely means someone has written Puravi and then you correctly say Ravi. And that means your basic geography is modern level, and that was checked. When someone answered Mandovi as Brahmaputra, Mahadevi as Brahmaputra, that means your basic knowledge is the problem. But because someone has been feeding you with answers, you are able to answer. But anyways, I'm not getting into those comments, and I've quizzed enough to know where the issues happen. But anyways, it's absolutely fine. So Shreyas, just give them that 15 for whatever they got, and no more points after that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You can call the last team up. That is Maharaja Agrasen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who's going to come for this round?
Rishabh.
Rishabh, you're coming? Okay, perfect. Very interesting. First question. Actually, very interesting. This is also the time of Ramzan. Ramzan is also happening at this point of time as I ask you this question. This is a non-vegetarian stew that originates from an Arabic word meaning morning. From an Arabic word meaning morning. Originally eaten by Nawabs in the Mughal Empire after their morning prayers. How do we know it as? How it is commonly referred to as?
I'll just get a guess. Halim.
Halim, okay. Bad miss, okay. Next one. The festival is a conjunction of two terms. Is the conjunction of two terms celebrated in Punjab. A military charge, and an organized process or an army column. An organized process or an army column. Name the festival. It's a Punjabi festival, conjunction of two terms. A military charge and an organized process of an army column.
Baisakhi.
Yeah, what did you say?
Baisakhi.
Baisakhi? Bad miss? Okay. And let me ask you the last question of the quiz. Okay. The painting originated in the Guler state. The painting originated in the Guler state. That's in the Himachals, broadly. When a particular family of Kashmiri painters trained in Mughal painting sought shelter at the court of Raja Dilip Singh. What is this form of painting known as? Think Himachal, you'll have the answer. They sought shelter at the
Miniature painting during.
Obviously, it's a kind of a painting. Okay, I'll give you the answer. This is known as the Kangra painting. Himachal, that is why I'm saying Himachal. Kangra painting. Kangra Valley, Himachal painting. And what you said, Halim, is actually Nihari. I somehow suspect you are both vegetarians, so maybe you'll not have an idea. So it's Nihari and... Yeah, what happened?
I thought Khajur might be the answer.
You thought Khajur might be the answer? Okay. Khajur is actually used to when you're breaking your fast. Okay. And then is Nihari, and the last one is Hola Mohalla. The festival Hola Mohalla is the Punjabi version of Holi. When North Indian, that is the UP and the other part of India, celebrate Holi, the people, the Sikh community essentially celebrate the festival known as Hola Mohalla. Okay, Sarthak Mishra, you had a question. Please ask.
Sir, I know what Sarthak has to say, so I'm just going to say here. We suspect DPS Greater Noida of cheating. One of the answers was sent on the top 6 group. Fortunately, on my WhatsApp, the messages don't get deleted. So they try to delete it on the spot. So obviously, DPS Greater Noida have had WhatsApp opened on another tab, and someone has been feeding them the answers. So one answer was there on the top 6 group. Other would have been sent on personal chats. Obviously, I still have the answer with me on the WhatsApp.
They haven't sent any answer.
It was deleted on the spot as soon as you answered. And
No, but number would be visible.
sorry?
Yes, sir.
So
Sir, the number would be visible.
Yes, the number is visible.
So you can check that it's my number or it's Samyak's. So we don't use that number.
Sir, it is Deepak Agarwal. Even the surname is not same.
So we don't suspect you to have to be communicating, right? Your teacher in charge could have also given you the answer.
Sir, our teacher in charge is Tanuja Prasad ma'am, and she is not attending the quiz also.
Sir, but he can also be from other team. How can you?
Yes, sir.
He is from our team only.
Could Devaditya sir please check how Deepak will...
Anyways, I think we've come to the end of the quiz, but I'll put certain things to my observation and end it there. I think it has been a very tough and a grueling quiz. Certain teams have definitely, because I have quizzed enough, I'm experienced enough, done many heritage quizzes to see what answers can come and what answers can't come. Because we also have an experience. At some level, to be very honest, I suspected DPS Greater Noida, I suspected DPS Rohini to have indulged in some kind of side cross-chatting. It could have been done between the teams, it could have been done with the parents. But what happened in the case of DPS, where DPS Greater Noida, you possibly managed to sidestep us or stay ahead of us. So that helped you. So we cannot now in after sight just because we cannot take a decision on that. So anyways, wherever you stand, you stand. With DPS Rohini also, I need to be fair at 11 because they answered Charbagh Lucknow. Even though the body language of the person Shubham who was answering was totally cold for the 15 or 20 seconds the question was asked, but he somehow got Lucknow, so I had to give him points. But what set the cat amongst the pigeons was Purushni, he answered Puravi first. And then Puravi immediately became Ravi. That means there had to be a prodding at some level which made him change the answer of Puravi to that. So the only solution I had was to block them at that point and not ask the next question. That was the kind of a penalty they got. And with regards to DPS Greater Noida, where I suspected was someone narrating the question parallelly. Someone narrating, like one of the participants was reading out the question as I was asking. So naturally, if you have a Google process and you have an audio there and you read out the question, it's naturally the Google will pick up an answer. It doesn't matter how loud or how slowly you read out. That possibility always exists.
So that was
But
other team. So it was DPS Rohini.
Wait, but whatever it is, I've answered the two teams which I doubted the most. I've got nothing against you as individuals. Because as I also mentioned, once you do an online quiz, the element, the possibility of cheating, cogging, copying goes up, which anyways, I believe many of you would have discussed amongst yourselves. Otherwise, scores of 38 out of 40 or 40 out of 40 don't, don't look rational or don't look logical, but you've got it, so we've accepted it. Because that system is fair for everyone. But in the finals, what we observe is what we decide. So I think don't worry, you are good quiz teams. And I particularly, the DPS Bandel, the Don Bosco Bandel is a fantastic quiz team. They need to quiz a bit more. Apply your mind, work out answers. You'll be much better. DPS Greater Noida, at least some of your answers are real top drawer. And I respect you for the answers. DPS Greater Noida, DPS Rohini, for whatever it is, some of your answers are really good. And till the time, because the Puravi set it out, maybe you are not cheating at all. But it was once a doubt gets created in online quiz, we as quiz masters don't have much choice because we have to fair to the other teams also. We don't have much choice. I could have still given you the benefit or ask the next question. But where do we draw a line? So at some point we have to draw a line. That's the unfortunate part of online quizzing. When you're doing a quiz on stage, I think it's a very, very clear process. But online quiz, I think you have that process because there's nothing much you can control on. And that's the unfortunate part of it. And I think all the teams have good. Some teams have not been able to score their accounts. So my only submission and my suggestion is read a bit more about heritage. Focus on heritage. Today you've got a drift as to what all heritage can include. What is the dimension of heritage? Where we go with our heritage? Because you are going to be the people who will carry our heritage forward. So it's very important that you assimilate, you read, you discuss. And quizzing is something which you have to absorb. Everything is a learning. I started quizzing when I was in class 8th. But possibly a journey started when I was in class 1st or 2nd. When my father bought me those books, the atlases, the Amar Chitra Kathas, and I just got started picking them up. So even today, when I sit for a quiz, I never prepare for a quiz. Because I believe you should never prepare for a quiz. Your reading should be such, you should just turn up, land up in a quiz, you win, you lose, you lose. But at the end of it, it's a process with which you test your mind out. That's how I look at quizzing. So same way, you just need to go with the flow, read things around you. India is a fascinating country. So intentionally, apart from Angkor Wat and Danube, every question was India-centric. Every question is India-centric about a simple festival like Hola Mohalla. Knowing about how the people of Punjab call Holi as. It's as simple as that. Shreyas and Swati, we can quickly have the results.
At the first position, we have DPS Greater Noida, Divyanshu and Samyak at 70 points.
Perfect. So they have won the quiz, high and dry. And so I think I give it to you. Be happy, Divyanshu. Chill out. You won the quiz. Be happy. Yeah. Fine.
At the second position, we have Don Bosco, Bandel, Shaumaho and Arijit with 50 points.
They're a very, very good quiz team. Quiz a bit more. Quiz a bit more. And include your reading habits. Excellent quiz team.
Third position, we have DPS Rohini, Shubham and Shaurya at 35 points.
They're third, okay.
At fourth position, we have Devansh and Sarthak, Seth Hemar, Jaipuria, Lucknow, 25 points. And 25. At the fifth position,
okay, it was 10 and 15, okay.
25. And at the fifth position, we have both the schools who unfortunately couldn't open their account today, Maharaja Agrasen, Soumya and Rishabh, and TISBV.
No issues, they'll open in the next quiz, doesn't matter. Quizzing is a continuous process. Certain set of it did not work there. I think it's a wonderful, and I like to thank the entire team of Bengal Chamber of Commerce, Intact, the people who have backed us doing this quiz, for giving me this opportunity and the privilege and the honor to have conducting this quiz. Thanks a lot. Over to you, Sukanya ma'am, for your words, and then as you'd like to say something. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the Chamber, I would first like to congratulate each and every participant, all the 600 plus teams who joined us. What we want to convey is that we as citizens of India should be aware of our heritage and culture. So children who have participated in the final round, our tagline was catch them young. Our tagline was never compete with the young. So any competition, we understand you people are young bloods, you want to win, but winning is not always the end of the story. Participation and positive mental attitude is what we look for as a Chamber of Commerce. When you people grow up, then you will join corporate, some of you will be entrepreneurs, or you will achieve success in your life. One thing which you will understand is transparency and accountability is very much important for sustainable growth. And knowledge, gaining proper knowledge is one of the vehicles. So as a Chamber of Commerce, we would like to congratulate each and every team who have participated. We will congratulate all the 6 teams who are representing their schools here in this platform. Today on this World Heritage Day, we learned many aspects of history, tourism, and shared the vast cultural heritage of our country as well as our world. We thank all our partners without whose support it would have not been possible to organize a quiz of such a magnitude. Along with the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we would like to thank Intact. We would like to thank Woodlands Multispeciality Hospitals Limited, who has been a great support since the first edition. Our corporate partner, Tata Steel Downstream Products Limited, silver sponsors, Caring Mind, Delhi Public School, Ruby Park, Kolkata, RT Network Solutions, Private Limited System Nivedita University, our digital media partner, Edugraph, The Telegraph Online, our gift sponsors, Hello Heritage and Hermes Voyages, our knowledge partner, Crisis Solution, for designing this quiz in such a wonderful manner. We thank all our participants who attended this program through various social platforms of Bengal Chamber. Last but not at all the list, with the constant support from our partners and participants, we promise to bring before you more such interesting and valuable programs. So, children, we wish you all the best in your future and we congratulate all the teams because as a chamber, we do not really believe in first, second, third. We just believe in walking with dignity, walking with grace, and walking with knowledge. So, thank you so much. And Mr. Bhattacharya, thank you so much for taking so much trouble for over a month's period and conducting this quiz in such a brilliant manner. And we would like to thank your team members also, Shreyas and Swati, for their continuous support. Overall, I think it has been a fantastic evening, and I hope that everybody must have enjoyed learning about India, learning about the cultural heritage and world heritage. Thank you so much. Mr. Bhattacharya, do you want to add anything or do we?
I think just one small bit. I think I'd be ungrateful if I don't thank Bengal Chamber of Commerce and all our sponsors for supporting and giving us this opportunity to conduct the quiz. And above all, the participants, the entire teams who came over from all over India to participate in the quiz. And I think just go back, read a bit more about our heritage, read comics, read magazines, watch documentaries. And I think start the process. I think you'll be